We've seen the good, the bad and the ugly from football during the recent crisis. You never know how anybody's going to react. Some people get it horrendously wrong, don't they? Some people are manipulative, some people are greedy, some people are kind, some people are generous, some people just don't know what to do and need instructions from others. Now, whilst we've been happy to call out particularly the nastier elements on this very channel, it is important when we see something good that we praise it. And the good today has come from our own club, West Ham United. They've done something which is in stark contrast to what Tottenham and Newcastle have done. And what I like about it is I've had to do a bit of digging to get the information. They could have used this as a publicity stunt. They could have used this as PR to say, look how great we are. But actually, it comes in the form of just a nice letter that's gone out to all full-time employees of West Ham United. Not the players, just the regular employees. I'm not going to say too much more because I don't want to give away where the letters come from. But I think it's a nice letter, and I think it's exactly the kind of letter you would want to receive if you were worried about your job, particularly in light of you see what's going on at other football clubs. Before we go into that, what I want to do is just talk about a game name that noble. Yesterday we did it. The answer was Ian Pearce. But what a lot of you didn't realise is the mystery is at the start. I give the answer later on in the video. So lots of people were still guessing. The answer's in the video. You don't have to wait. I'll tell you the answer today. So I'm going to do today's one, and then at the end, or near the end, somewhere near the end of the video, will be the answer. So you don't have to wait. So here's today's one. Obviously it's not Sam. It's not a Jurassic one there. It's not him. Old long ball Sam or anything like that. Who's the player stood next to him? That's all you're getting. Okay. I'll give you the answer later on. Alright? Just a little bit of fun. Just to keep things ticking over. Anyway, listen. What's happened is the club have sent out a letter to their employees. I'm going to read it. I think it's a classy touch. And there's particularly a bit in it which I do think is very, very helpful. Very useful. This is not about players. This is not about the club. This is just about people. And it's about jobs. And it's about their employer. And the email and the letter has come from the Human Resources Department. And it says, Dear colleague, I hope you and your family are doing well. Staying well at this unprecedented time. Blah, 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 blah. And I'll skip on to the bit what is particularly interesting. But they're saying a lot of nice stuff. A lot of platitudes at the start. It says, during this difficult period, I would like to assure you that the Board of Directors are continuing to devote their time and energy to supporting the long-term stability of the club. We alluded to this with the £30 million investment, of course. There are a number of ways to achieve this, but our absolute priority remains with the health and well-being of everyone, especially the West Ham United family, and ensuring that you, our valued staff member, are not negatively affected in any way. The club fully appreciates everything you do as part of the West Ham United family, and I wanted to write to you in person to assure you that you're not going to be financially disadvantaged during these difficult and unprecedented times. Despite you not working for the club at the moment due to this situation, I'm delighted to confirm that West Ham United is committed to continuing to pay you on a monthly basis to ensure you will receive 100% of your salary. Here's the bit, I mean, that's great. Here's the bit I really like. The calculations will be based on the higher calculation of your equivalent of a month's pay. In 2019 or of an average of 2019-20, blah, blah, blah. Then it gets a little bit technical over there. This will be done for you so you don't have to do anything at all. I'll just finish the letter and I'll go back to that. But it says everyone at West Ham has pulled together. It certainly feels like we are in it to support one another, our community and our club. This is the spirit of West Ham United. It's what will help us come out stronger. We look forward to seeing you when the season resumes in its normal manner. But until then, we remain together side by side in support of each other. In the meantime, please remember, if you have any other concerns or issues that you would like to raise, please don't hesitate to contact me. Look after yourselves, look after each other. Kind regards. I won't read up the person's name, but it's the head of Human Resources. Excuse me, let me just click back to that other bit. I think that is what you want. That is the sort of thing that you want to hear. That's the sort of letter you want to receive when you're worried about next month's rent, or just anything. You want a little bit of clarification. You want a little bit of stability and feel that you know your wages coming in. I really like the 100% of your salary. It's not saying we're going to furlough it and you're going to get 80%, which we're going to apply to from the government or anything like that. We are going to pay your salary. Don't worry about it. We've got it covered. The calculations will be the equivalent of a month's pay on the higher calculation. What that's basically saying is, if on 1 month you've done better or whatever, if it's basically saying we're going to pay you the most amount you usually earn. We're not going to look at a period where you might have earned a little bit less and pay you that lesser amount. We're going to pay you your full pay based on the highest calculations. And that is, again, it's not PR. They don't have to do that. There's many ways where they can maybe nick 5% here or do a little something. But they've not. They've done the full amount. They've not asked for any government help whatsoever, which is keeping that revenue stream going to where it needs to go to. And I just think it's full of positivity. And I think when you look at that, and say what you want about the owners or whatever, you know the staff members are going to know that these are rich people. So, you know, you've got one owner who's worth $1.5 billion, you've got another owner who's worth $500 million or whatever the case may be. You're thinking, okay, well, these guys are going to cover my wages. And what obviously I feel is important, because we're getting to the point where we're looking at wage deferrals from the players. I'm not a great fan of wage deferrals because I just think it puts the club in a disadvantaged position further down the line. It means when we do start to earn money, they're going to have to pay the players' wages plus everything that they owe to the wages. I would still be looking for a wage reduction of some kind from the highest earners. Not someone who's yet to break into the first team and stuff like that. Obviously, they still need their pay. But I think if you're on anything above 30, 40 grand a week, you should be taking a wage reduction until this is sorted out. But the one thing I do feel is important is when the shareholders, we don't know who's going to plough the money in yet, but when the shareholders put the 30 million in, it's going to be really important that 30 million is not gobbled up by the players' wages, because the players' wages can honestly obliterate that 30 million really, really quickly. It's really important that 30 million going in to bankroll to prop up the club from the shareholders' investment goes towards people's wages. So if you work in the ticket office or any of the other departments that are there, you just continue to get your wages, and you know that they're not there. I mean, it'd be an absolute travesty if what it did was it basically gave the players a couple of months worth of wages. At the end of it, they weren't able to do this. That sort of investment will sustain all the staff for as long as this takes. The other thing that feeds into this and is interesting is what I'm about to read now, that the Premier Leagues are to be handed millions of pounds that would have been due at the end of the season. They're going to be given now. So at the season that would have played out, the money that you would have accrued through basically having televised games and things like that, you're looking at about 20 million. They're going to give that now rather than at the end of the season when they tally it up. That money's already in a pot. That money's already been paid by the broadcasters. What's happening is the Premier League are going to give that to the clubs now. And I think with things like that, with an extra 20 million, with the owners putting in some extra money. I don't just mean West Ham, any owners putting in some extra money, with the players taking some pay cuts, not a deferral, a 3-month deferral of 30% saves 9 million over 3 months. The 9 million still has to be paid back. It's still, the club's still in debt to the players. If the players take a little pay cut, the Premier League advance to 20 million, the owners do something, then everyone should be safe. It really should. It really should all be fine. The richest, the most minted, the people that earn 5, 6, 7 million pound a year are gonna have to take a little bit less. But the cleaner, the person in the ticket office, the person that does the lawn mowing at the training ground, all that stuff, they keep their jobs. I think it's called a groundsman, the person that does the lawn mowing. The lawnmower man. It's a film, isn't it? I think it might be, I don't know. Anyway, I'm waffling. Name that noble. Let's bring it back up again. Who is it? I'll tell you who I thought it was. I thought it was Matt Jarvis. But I'm wrong. Keep looking. Who is it? There it is. Morgan Amalfitano. Remember him? He was all right, wasn't he? Wasn't a bad player, actually. Brought in by Big Sam, as you can see. Smug look on his face. Did you get it? I don't know. Anyway, hopefully you stayed till the end and you got to watch that. I'm not going to have loads of little comments underneath. Says, it's Matt Jarvis. It's Joe Cole. Actually, he did bring in Joe Cole, didn't he? Big old Sam. Wasted him. Played him left. He was never a winger for me, Joe Cole. That's another video. I doubt it is another video. It's this video, isn't it? Never a winger for me, Joe Cole. Central, all the time. Ruined by Jose Mourinho. Now I really am waffling.